We see them now on every construction site. They're big, tall, and for many very impressive. In Europe, they even have competitions with them. We are talking, of course, about cranes. There are two types of cranes, mobile cranes and static cranes. These mobile ones are mounted on trucks specially adapted for this use, but static cranes are bolted to the ground or a building and are stabilized with cement blocks. The fixations are always adapted to its height and weight. The safety rules are different between states, but in Europe, safety standards are almost the same in every European country. For example, in France, all construction sites must be declared to a government office. It must say how long the construction will last, how many employees, what work will be done, and of course, what vehicles will be used. You need to get permission from this office to use a static crane in France. You must say how high it will be, what its weight will be, and all other details. But the big difference with French standards is that the company that owns the crane or rents it is not allowed to install it. A second company specialized in crane installation will install the crane, check out its functions and safety standards. Then, after installation, a government organization has to give its safety approval before the construction starts. They inspect the crane, its details, the fixations on it, and even test it. The surroundings are also important around the site. Certain cranes are forbidden if there is a public building or area too close to the site, like a school or a park. They also check out the crane operators. Most crane operators in France now have a training and degree certifying them as machinery operators, but this is not mandatory. However, it is an obligation for all crane operators to go through a special safety course that teaches them all safety standards they must know, and before starting on a new construction site, must go through medical inspection. The operators check out their cranes before starting every day. They also have to be very careful about weather conditions. If there is too much wind, a special device warns them, and they must stop the crane. In France, over the last 5 years, there's been 10 fatal crane accidents. These accidents were due to weather conditions, technical problems, some abuse of overtime work, but sometimes a bad study of the ground, therefore destabilizing the crane. Even with national safety standards, Brussels will still impose more regulation on cranes, that many professionals in this sector think it will only create more paperwork and complications than safety itself. Benjamin Marcus for Our View, Paris, France.